Hey there, my name is Kylie. I'm your customer support ninja at REISift, and in this video, we are going to talk about some options for managing sold data in REISift. You can obtain sold information from SiftMap through the MLS if you have access, or from PropStream's List Automator, but today we're going to focus on pulling from SiftMap and setting up sequences to reset records after they sell. So let's start off with updating sold records as you're marketing. If you are calling with a click-to-call dialer in REISift and the owner mentions that they've sold the property, as you're calling through the records, you can select to open in SiftMap. It's going to show you property information for that specific property. Under the history, you can see the transaction history and the sale date. So from here, you can select to add the record to your account. We're not adding to any list since this is just a sold property, so we're not going to add any specific list. We do want to toggle this option off though, because we do want to replace the owner information of the existing property. That way, any new owner listed here can be added to the record. And for the tags, we're going to add a sold tag, and then we can also add a tag for the sold month and year. And add that, and then add properties to account. And when that processes, this is the property that we just re-added. And if we go to the activity log, we can see where it was updated from SiftMap here. And since this record is sold, it doesn't need to have the follow-up status, but I will show you later in the video how you can set up sequences to automatically remove the status. Now I'm going to show you how to pull sold records in bulk. So first we're going to go to SiftMap, and you'll start off by entering in your market area. You can search by zip code, city, county, or state. Now we're going to go under the More filters and enter in a last sold date. Many of our investors will pull this information monthly. So I'm going to pull for the month of December. And then just to exclude any of those like intrafamily deed transfers, I'm also going to add in a minimum sold amount, or the last sold price minimum of $1,000. Now we're going to apply filters. And there's 32 records in that zip code that sold last month. So I'm going to go ahead and select all records and add records to account. Now when we're adding in bulk, we're also going to want to toggle this off. That way the new owner information can be updated. We're not going to add to any particular list since this is sold data. And then for the tags, we're going to add the sold tag. And then these were all sold in the month of December. So we're going to do sold and then the month and the year. And add properties to the account. Now, when you add those records to your account, it is going to add all selected properties. But since we are not adding them to any particular list, that should help exclude any of these that have just sold from your marketing campaigns, because when you select your marketing campaigns, most likely you're going to be either targeting specific lists or stacked records. Now that you know how to obtain the sold data, let's talk about how to reset the records using sequences. After a record is sold, you can use sequences to automatically remove lists and tags, delete tasks, clear property status, and unassign the record from any team members. To set this up, first you'll need to have created that sold tag. So if you don't have the sold tag in your account yet, you can go to the tag section and create the tag. Once the sold tag is created, go to sequences, and we're going to create new sequence. This sequence is going to be named sold reset. The trigger is going to be property tags added, because we want it to trigger whenever that sold tag is added. And for the condition, we're also going to use the property tags added condition. When you're setting this up, be sure to use this specific condition for property tags added and not the one that is just for property tags. The difference between these two is if you use the tags added option, it will only run when the tag is first added to the record. Property tags is just looking for if the record has the certain tag already. So now that we've added that condition, we're going to select the sold tag. Now for our actions, we are going to remove property lists. You would select all of the lists that you have here. This is a test account, so some of these are from different tests that we've done. And then we're also going to remove property tags. And then when removing the tags, you would want to select any of your marketing attempt tags, any tags related to campaign, or anything marketing related. And I'm just going to add a couple of options here, just so you can see what this looks like. Okay. Now we also want to clear property task. That way it can delete any existing follow-up tasks or anything like that we may have for the record. Select assign property, and then you can clear the assignee just in case that record is already assigned to one of your team members. And now for the last action, we are going to change the property status, and we're going to change that status back to the default status. That way, if it has something like not interested or any other property status, we can go ahead and change it back to default so it doesn't come up in any of your follow-up campaigns. Once you've selected all the options here, save the sequence. And now I'm going to show you what that looks like when it runs on one of the records. So I'm going to go back to the records page here, and I'm going to add the sold tag. Now if we go to the activity log, we can see where that sequence ran. This is what triggered the sequence, and these are the different actions. And if you ever need to check your sequences or want to see how it's set up, if you click the link from the activity log, it's going to take you to that specific sequence that ran. Some of our customers like to delete the phone numbers for the records that have recently sold. If you choose to do this, you can do so by filtering for the sold tag that you added, and I would recommend using the sold month and year tag to filter. So then if these have phone numbers, and you can go to all, that way you're selecting all records. You select them and go to manage and delete phones. Now when you delete phone numbers, this action cannot be undone. So any data that you decide to delete, we are not able to recover. Whenever properties sell and it wasn't you that obtained the deal, consider reviewing the sold records. When a record sells, check out the buyer details. If the buyer was an investor, they could be a potential buyer for some of your future deals. Or if the buyer was another wholesaler, dig a little deeper, see what resulted in them getting the deal. Was this an owner that your team had tried to reach? If so, did they fall through the cracks? Were they not followed up with? Consider reaching out to the other wholesaler and then asking them how they got the deal. They might be using another marketing strategy like SMS, direct mail, or cold calling that you can incorporate into your business. So that's some ways to manage sold data in REISift. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support chat by clicking Talk to Us. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day.